That is why fast food restaurants are starting to panic.
This is why motherfuckers don't build a McDonald's anymore. Look at these places.
Almost $14 for a Big Mac meal. Almost $16 for a double quarter pounder meal.
One of the biggest comments I see across all my social medias is how expensive fast food is in 2026. And I gotta agree, guys. We're talking about $12 burgers, $20 value meals, $50 and $60 to feed a family of 4 at fast food. What happened in this country in the last 4 to 6 years to make just something as simple as eating out at fast food so damn expensive? Yeah, welcome back into the channel, everybody. Thanks for being here. I want to talk about it today. Let's talk about McDonald's and Burger King and Chipotle and Taco Bell and all of these places, Five Guys, of course, charging so much money just to have a simple fast food meal out. You're talking about one person, me, going and paying $15, $16, $17 to eat a meal at a normal fast food place. You're talking about taking a family of 4, me and somebody and 2 kids, and it being $55, $60, $65. This is out of control. Let's take a look at a couple clips from some of your favorite restaurants, McDonald's, Chipotle, all these restaurants, and see just what it's costing Americans in 2026 to go out to eat. Has this affected the way you budget and the way you go out and get food and grocery shopping and fast food shopping? What do you do differently to offset this insane amount of money that they're charging us? And do you think this is because of inflation, or is this more just corporate greed taking over rather than the inflated prices of the materials, the ingredients to make this food, and the labor cost, of course, minimum wage going up? I think this is greed. I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's greed, and you can feel free to disagree with me in the comments section. We'll have a nice debate about it, but let's take a look at what we're actually spending in 2026.
Why is Five Guys so much more expensive than other fast food restaurants? Their cheeseburger is literally $11.59. That's $9 more expensive than a cheeseburger from McDonald's. Well, it's because they're greedy and they want all your money. Nah, not really. But here are 3 reasons why they can get away with charging so much. 1 is because their burgers are huge. A Five Guys cheeseburger has almost double the meat of a Big Mac and 4 times the meat of a McDonald's cheeseburger. 2 is that although their burgers are super expensive, the rest of their menu is relatively cheap. A small fries is about $5 and comes with a ton of fries. Plus, you get free peanuts and unlimited toppings. They're not really free. The cost of the extras are baked into the cost of the burger. And 3 is obviously inflation. The prices of food are still about 20% more expensive than before 2020.
I think they're greedy, and I also think that Five Guys is some of the best food, and it's bigger portions and fries and all that, but exponentially what they're charging above and beyond the normal prices to theirs, is it worth it for the extra amount of food that you're getting? Probably not. It doesn't coalesce to what that material costs, and also add in that greed. Definitely Five Guys, way overpriced. Love Five Guys, but way overpriced.
That is why fast food restaurants are starting to panic.
This is why motherfuckers don't build a McDonald's anymore. Look at these places.
Almost $14 for a Big Mac meal. Almost $16 for a double quarter pounder meal. The McCrispy strips, a 4-count McCrispy strip meal is $11.29. What? A 10-piece McNugget meal is $14, $13.99. Filet of fish meal, $13.59. A 2 cheeseburger meal is now $12.99, $13. For 2 of their small ass cheeseburgers, some fries, and a drink, $13.
I have to laugh. Look, I remember when the cheeseburgers were buy one, get one free, and they were like $4, right? They were like $3.99, buy one, get one free. Now you're paying $12.99 for the meal. I know it's a meal and they're adding in fries and a drink, but at what place on earth is 2 little cheese, they're small, she's right, small ass cheeseburgers, worth $13? $13 with a meal. So your drink should be $2. Your fries should be $3. That's $5. You're talking about $8, $4 a burger, $4 a burger, fries and a drink. It just doesn't add up when we used to pay $7.99, $8.99. Now you're at $13, $14. Some of these are as high as $15 for one meal for one person at McDonald's. This is not sustainable, you guys. Not sustainable at all. Let's move over to Taco Bell. Same story, same inflation, same greed going on there as well.
Do you know what pisses me off? Back in 2005, this $20 bill could buy you 11 Crunchwrap Supremes from Taco Bell. Do you know how many you could buy now in 2025 with this $20 bill? Let me show you. Only two. Only two. This entire stack right here cost me $84 with tax. Can someone please tell me how this is possible?
I hope he had some friends that were gonna eat some Crunchwrap Supremes with him. I could hammer me 2, maybe 3 of them things if that's all I'm eating, but he had 20 of them, right? 20 of them, is that what he said? $20, bought 11, 12, how many did he have of those? A lot. Crunchwrap Supremes obviously went from like $2 to $5, $6. I think they're like $2.99 even back when I remember them. Taco Bell, definitely on board with the greed, definitely on board with making money. They're no different than a McDonald's, a Wendy's, or any other restaurant. Let's see a couple more. And I'm going to leave it to all y'all in the comments section. Let me know what you're fed up with, how much you spend. Do you go out to eat at fast food anymore, whether it's the food or the price? I want to hear about it in the comments because you guys are the ones that are fueling this proverbial fire, per se.
This one hurt. I don't care about no fast food place, but In-N-Out's my spot. All you fools begging for minimum wage increases. It ain't our fault you didn't freaking hustle or get a profession. Go grind. All that minimum wage increase, you're just gonna end up back at where you started because all the prices are increasing on everything.
Yeah, I mean, he explains it a lot. Tons of this is greed. I'll stick by my point. It's a lot of greed. But when you start paying McDonald's workers $15 and $20 an hour, well, inevitably, a burger's not going to cost $2 anymore. It's going to go to $4. It's going to go to $6. It's going to go to whatever it amounts to, $8, $10, because you have to pay that staff now. You're paying these people an extra couple dollars an hour, extra couple $100 a week, couple $1,000 or $1,000 a month. All of a sudden, you have to offset it somewhere, and it's going to be in your burger and fry. In fact, let's just see how much it's gone up in the last 75 years. Yeah, we're going to go all the way back to 1950s in McDonald's, and you can see kind of the growth as it's like little growth, little growth, little growth, little growth, bang, in like the last 4 or 5 years. Check this out. We're going way back in history. There you go, a 1950s to 2024 cheeseburger from, 15, 20 cents back then to $2.39 now. And they're even more, I think they're $2.99 now. Pretty crazy.
Begging, please, set me free from your eyes, your touch, history, secret crush I gotta hide.
You could get a donut for a nickel, and now it's $1.69. That is times so much I can't even tell you. 10 times is 50 cents, so 20 times 30, 33, 34 times the cost of the donut from back then to now. From $2.50 to $24 for a pizza, almost 10 times Pizza Hut's cost. I mean, you can just see what things used to cost and what they cost now. It's pretty staggering to watch. So again, from 50 cents, $1.50 for things up to $10, $8, $12. You guys can kind of see everything is 10 to 20 times more expensive than it was some 50 to 70 years ago, depending on the restaurant we're talking about, depending when it opened. And we expect things to gradually increase in price as we go along, but my God, the last couple of years have been nuts. We're going to see more examples of it in just a second.
The largest fast food restaurants have increased their prices at double the rate of inflation. And some have been way worse than others. It costs twice as much to buy McDonald's now as it did 10 years ago. This is far worse than any other restaurant on this list. These restaurants have raised their prices by 60% over the last 10 years, while inflation has only been 30%. Popeyes, Chipotle, Taco Bell, Wendy's, Burger King, and Chick-fil-A are all restaurants whose price increases have doubled the rate of inflation. A key lesson is that these restaurant owners often use inflation as an excuse to jack up the prices even further on their customers. Oh, our costs went up by $1? Well, time to raise the prices by $2 on our customers. This is why they've been able to make record profits. So don't buy the crocodile tears when they come crying about, oh gosh, costs are harder, times are harder, so we have no choice. Yeah, they're using that to hide profiteering. Look at how all these menu items have increased at McDonald's over the past 10 years. Can you believe it used to cost just over $1 to get a McDouble or a medium fry? Those days are long gone. We've crossed far beyond the $3 territory now. Just remember that higher costs are only part of the reason for restaurants charging higher prices. The other reason is price gouging.
Yeah, it is price gouging. Other words, greed. They are trying to suck every dime out of every person they can, the middle class, lower class, whatever. The rich get richer and the lower class keep getting poorer. So this one might be an extreme example, but let's see what it costs to feed a family of 13 at McDonald's.
How much does it cost for a family of 13 to eat at McDonald's? Let's find out. You guys ready?
Yes!
Melody, Chloe, and Enoch, right? Enoch, do you want to have a meal? Sorry, what? You decide, what'd you get?
I got a double quarter pounder, fries, and a French vanilla coffee. That's my go-to order.
April, what'd you get? A quarter pounder. April has to go to her concert. Have fun at your concert, girl. Hey, Elijah, what did you order?
A double cheeseburger and fries. It was a meal. And then I also got an iced coffee.
Okay. Naomi, what'd you get?
I got a spicy McCrispy meal with unsweetened iced tea.
Hey, Noah, what did you get?
This is like feeding a basketball team with the bench, right? A whole football team, a baseball team. This is crazy. How do you have 13 kids? I know some of those families out in Mormon and Utah and all those, 19 kids and counting. They got big, big families. But can you imagine taking a family? I'm going to take my family to McDonald's. It's going to cost $200. I don't know what this costs. This is the first time seeing this. But my guess is 13 kids, 13 people at $10 each. It's probably going to be like $150 to $175 actually. Some of the kids went big on a double quarter pounder with an iced coffee, $13, $15. Pretty wild. Let's put our comments down below. How much do we think that this family is going to spend? I'm going to say $155. That's my final number. What do you think before we go on? Pause the video and comment it, and let's find out together.
With fries and
What'd you get?
I got a black McCrispy and fries and a Coke.
What'd you get?
A Happy Meal.
Hey, Enoch, what'd you get?
I got some fries, chicken nuggets, apple slices, and some milk.
Hey, Melody, what'd you get?
A Happy Meal.
Look at the phone.
Hi, I already saw it.
Hey, Mo, what'd you get? Did you get a chicken nugget Happy Meal, Mo?
Okay, I may have overestimated this one because a lot of these kids got $5 meals. So if we're talking about 13 at $10 a piece is $130, but some of them are cheaper, some of them are more. So maybe I'm a little high. I'll stick with the $155, but let's see.
French fries too, Mo. That's a little bit.
Hey, Mark, what'd you get?
I got a crispy deluxe and a coffee.
And I got a filet-o-fish with fries and unsweetened iced tea.
Oh, mine sure's big.
There it is. Grand total $106.88. You know, I got to be honest, for 13 people, that's pretty cheap. A lot of little kids. I thought it was going to be way more than that because when I go to fast food, it's generally between $10 and $12 for whatever I get. If I get a meal with a fry and a drink, you're talking about $9.99, $10.99, plus tax. So you're talking about $11, $12. So I was thinking 13 kids at 13 people times 10, 130, 140, maybe upwards of 150 with tax. 106.88. They did pretty good. What do you think? Did they do good for their meal here for a whole family? But at the same time, it's still $110 almost to feed your family lunch. Pretty wild.
Like your toy?
Well, not really.
Want to be flirted?
They spent $45 on the dessert. Can't go home without dessert. So their meal ended up costing $151, $152, something like that. But that's because they got McFlurries and dessert. So if we didn't do that, they still did it sub 110. I'm not mad at them for it. Was your guess right? How far off were you? Let me know in the comments section as always. 13 people going to fast food. You want to talk about a big spend? That's it.
Someone put a picture of this 2014 Taco Bell menu in my comments in the last video. And at this point, I'm just going down memory lane. Because I don't think y'all hear me when I say that fast food used to be convenient. You used to be able to get a cheap meal with a slight side of bubble guts. Oh, you dragging it, you dragging it. They keep dragging the prices up.
So we're only talking about 11 to 12 years here. Difference Taco Bell instead of those 36 years we just discussed with McDonald's. This is only a decade later. You can see $2 meal deals. You can see $5 meal deal buck boxes. You know, these things don't exist anymore where they're now $9, $10, double the price from 10 years ago. When we went back 36 years ago, it was 3 times the price. But now, just in the last 10 years, it's doubled just about.
What you want me to do? I used to love going to Taco Bell late at night. My back used to be so big pulling through that drive-through line, all you see from the back was head and shoulders. But I ate good for only a few dollars. When I see this menu, all I see is pure bliss. All I see is the remnants of a lost civilization, way back when the dinosaurs used to roam free. And you see that $5 box in the corner there? I want you to brace for what I'm about to show you next.
There it is. Discovery Lux box, $9.99. Double the price in just 10 or 11 years as opposed to tripling the price in 36 years. Meaning in the first 26 years, it went up about double in 26 years. Now in just 10, 11 years, it has doubled again. So you see how exponentially our chart goes like this and then it goes like that? It's just greed lately, guys. Greed. And the companies are getting away with it because they know, notice I didn't say they think, they know that us as consumers are almost powerless to do anything about it. All right, so how is McDonald's and other places responding to this? Take a look at some of their 2-tiered economy responses and some of their price fixes that they think are going to resolve this. Newsflash, none of it's a good answer.
And part of what we also saw was that particularly with middle and lower income consumers, they're feeling under a lot of pressure right now. I think there's a lot of commentary about what's the state of the economy, how's it doing, and what we see is it's really kind of a 2-tier economy. If you're upper income, earning over $100,000, things are good. Stock markets are near all-time highs. You're feeling quite confident about things. You're seeing international travel, all those barometers of upper income consumers are doing quite well. What we see with middle and lower income consumers is actually a different story. It's that consumers under a lot of pressure in our industry. Traffic for lower income consumers is down double digits. And it's because people are either choosing to skip a meal. So we're seeing breakfast. People are actually skipping breakfast, or they're choosing to just eat at home. And so for our business, which has a significant group of consumers which are in that middle and lower income, we needed to step in with something like what we're doing here.
This is incredible when the CEO of McDonald's comes on a national news story and says people in the lower income are not eating at McDonald's as much anymore because they can't afford to. They're skipping meals because they don't have enough money to eat 3 meals a day, or they're eating at home because they have to find a way to make the money stretch, and McDonald's sales are suffering because middle and lower income people can't afford to survive. He's literally saying it out loud. Why can't they afford to survive? Interest rates, housing costs, rent, mortgage, electric, you name it, it's all through the roof, and so there's less discretionary money to spend on something like McDonald's even.
French fries used to be $1.79. Now they're $4.19. I need some help with this. Let me bring in Ren Mack, head of economic research, and he'll do that. Neil, I mean, to me, this is the story. And from 2019 to 2024, a cheeseburger went up 215%. What I'm curious about, was there a time where economists felt like maybe a burger like eggs are inelastic, like you can keep raising prices, but they were still cheap enough no one would blink?
Well, at some point, I mean, people are going to start responding to higher prices, and that might be happening. But I think the bigger story, Charles, is that labor markets are slowing down, and that's probably going to affect their consumer base more so than prices at this point.
Another thing that consumers are complaining about is not just that we're paying more money for this stuff from inflation and cost of labor and goods, but that we're getting shrinkflation, that we're getting less than what we're actually paying for. This kid tries to make a good point out of it, and she explains it a little bit, but again, I don't believe it because I've seen stuff go down in size over and over, all over the place. I did a video showing that fish fillet, which was nuts, the fish fillet from there down to like that. Take a look at this one.
Is this a quarter pound?
Yes.
We're gonna see if McDonald's quarter pounders are actually a quarter pound meat today. That's a problem. I saw the McDonald's promotion thing that's supposed to be exactly a quarter pound, and that's under by 0.6 ounces.
They shrink when they cook.
It's supposed to be 4.0 for a quarter pound. It's supposed to be 4 ounces, and it's not.
You can't be serious. So you want me to put a raw piece of meat on there?
I mean, that's fine, yeah. Wait, we'll zero it here. Okay, go for it. Oh my gosh, it is a quarter pound.
Yeah, it's a quarter pounder.
So does it shrink then, or what?
Well, everything does when you cook it.
I'm sorry about that. That's my bad. Wow. Are those quarter pounders just a quarter pound?
Yeah.
We're gonna see if this is actually a quarter pound. That's a problem. Excuse me, boss?
Bro, come on. It's before cooking.
Like, you see where I'm coming from though, right? Like,
Not really.
I want to get exactly a quarter pound of meat.
I mean, dog, take it up with McDonald's, man.
You can't add like extra burger or something on there? I mean,
No, I paid for a single quarter pounder patty.
you don't have a manager?
I'm the GM. I run this restaurant.
You've never had anyone else do that?
No, absolutely not. I've never had anyone else do that before in 10 years. Wait before cooking.
Oh, so they already got that basis covered.
Correct. So if you're trying to like do a lawsuit or whatever.
I just wanted to make sure I got my money's worth, you know?
So pretty standard. It's always before the food is cooked. That's the weight. It's just sort of a scam if you think about it, because you're buying a quarter pounder with cheese. It was a quarter pounder before you received it, but when you bought it and received it, it's no longer a quarter pound, because when you cook it, it shrinks up in size. You know, some of it falls off on the grill, whatever. But that has always been a point of contention for a lot of people. You know, you go to the grocery store and you buy meat or chicken that's wrapped up and it's a 2-pound chicken, but you get it home, it's not 2 pounds. We've done that in videos as well. How do you guys feel about not getting what you paid for? Another, just an example of people finding something to complain about because these prices are just driving everyone nuts. And what does he propose to do about it?
This morning, McDonald's putting value front and center on their menus.
It wanted to be more than hot, it wanted to be juicy.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the fast food giant will be lowering prices on some of its most popular items after pitching the idea to franchisees. It's an effort to quell complaints from consumers, many fed up with the increasing prices of fast food restaurants like McDonald's. Customers taking to social media to deliver their supersized frustrations.
We're seeing some of these fast food restaurant chains underperforming because they've raised their prices, and consumers are starting to see that, and it's affecting their wallets.
The Journal reporting McDonald's and its franchisees will keep popular combo meals, saving customers about 15% per meal. They will also introduce extra value meals later this year, which would include a $5 breakfast, an $8 Big Mac or McNugget combo. This is just the latest move in the fast food wars, with traffic to U.S. fast food chains down 2.7% so far this year.
And we reached out to McDonald's about this, and they said they had no further comment.
Yeah, they've got no further comment because lowering prices is all they can do, because let me tell you how we got here. They kept raising them and raising them and raising them and raising them until they hit the point when people have had enough. And because of the advent of social media, people have enough and put it out to the world, and these restaurants start to recognize it and say, ooh, yeah, we probably went a little too far with our greed. Let's back it down just a little bit. It's unbelievable, really. Everybody's favorite thing to do is take a trip back to memory lane as we get ready to close out this video. We're gonna go back to 1990 McDonald's. Look at what you could get for $10.84 in 1990. 35, now almost 36 years ago, versus today.
Hi, can I help you?
Big Mac, fillet of fish, large fry. Chicken McNugget.
Happy Meal.
Happy Meal.
Happy Meal? Oh, okay. Do you want orange soda? Orange soda.
Okay, you want sauce for the nuggets?
Yeah.
Ketchup. Ketchup? Okay. And I'll have a hamburger, small fry, and a Diet Coke.
What size Diet Coke will it be? Anything for dessert?
So 1084 in 1990, 3221 if you got those same items today at McDonald's. 36 years later, just about right on par with 3 times the price. 3 times 10 is 30, 3 times 84 cents is $2.50. So you're right around that same 32.50, 32.21, pretty close to 3xing your money spend 36 years later at McDonald's. All right, I'm gonna close the video out. We're gonna discuss Five Guys again, but it ends this video with the companies explaining inflation as being the reason for all these increased costs. And we know, since we just talked about it, that is not even half of the story, guys. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on eating out at fast food. Let's close this out with an inflation video and see what these companies want us to believe when we know a little bit better.
Rising prices at Five Guys making some customers lose their appetites. One tweet going viral calling the cost of a meal out of control, along with this receipt apparently showing a $22 price tag for a bacon cheeseburger, regular soda, and little fry.
This is a fast food restaurant. Why is a burger $12.50?
But Five Guys is not alone. The price of eating at restaurants rising higher than the rate of inflation in the last 12 months.
Eating away from home is about 30% more expensive than it was in 2019. But now a lot of these restaurants realize they really just can't raise prices anymore. I think customers are at a breaking point.
The Wall Street Journal reporting more than half of small business owners, like restaurateurs, said higher labor costs are their biggest source of inflation.
So the big chains have a little more wiggle room and leeway, but these small independent restaurants, those are the people who had to get really creative. They're shuffling their menu items. They're taking things off the menu that maybe have high input costs. And when you talk to them, they tell you that it's not actually what's on the plate that costs them so much. The beef was at record highs late last year, but it's coming down a little bit. But it's the labor, it's the rent, it's the packaging. Some of these small business owners have told me that the packaging has doubled and tripled. And so their input costs are still real high in the past 2 or 3 years.
So they have their cost of goods, their food we know is up. Beef was up a lot. The cost of employees is up a lot because of this minimum wage and other crap. The cost of their materials, their cups, their packaging, all that stuff, probably up as well. I'm not in that business, but I can't see why it wouldn't be. So we put all that together into all these expenses they have, and it's up. But it's not up as much as they are claiming it's up. Inflation 36%. Cost of this food double. The math ain't mathin', y'all, and the choices that we make are what allows them to be this greedy. And they can deny all they want. I'm telling you right now, there's no way a burger went from $2 to $5 because of the inflated cost of the food or the packaging or the cup or the straw. $2 burger went up to maybe $2.50 for them to make. And if they charged us $3, we could understand, but they're charging us $5. You make a decision with your wallet every time you go out, every time you spend money, every time you eat somewhere, every time you visit somewhere or get entertainment from somewhere. Make sure that you're doing it at a place that's not trying to price gouge you, not trying to be greedy, and not trying to just see how far they can push consumers until they pushed us all the way out of our wallets to where we're no longer in their establishments. Hopefully, this is a wake-up call to them and they start to come back to reality. I don't know that it's going to happen anytime soon because every other industry across this country has done the same thing. Electric bills, water bills, internet bills, streaming. Every month it's up $2, up $2, up $2. They're literally just seeing how much they can get out of us. Keep that in mind the next time you spend your money on anything. As always, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. If you could, take 1 second to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you back in the future. If you don't, that's cool. Hopefully another video will pop up in front of you down the road that you will love enough to come back and subscribe. Make sure you check out my social media channels below, especially TikTok. I just need a couple hundred people to follow me on TikTok and I will be at 10,000. That would be awesome. So thank you guys. And until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you later.